Welcome, wrestling fans, and especially Joe Doering, who's in a tough situation right now, and Shop Impact has a new T-shirt out for him where 100% of the proceeds will go directly to Joe. Gary, you can explain better about his cancer situation.
Yeah, well, it appears Joe is always, well, not always, but had suffered a prior issue of the same magnitude. And it went away and it let him wrestle again. And now it seems like just when Joe's on top of everything, kind of getting a rebirth in wrestling,
Yeah.
um, you know, cancer, right, like being the ugly, thing that it is, had to linger and he got it back again. So he'll probably be on the shelf for probably many months, I'm guessing. We're probably not going to probably see him for the rest of this year. So good luck, Joe. We're
Terrible thing. And if you have some money, get that shirt. I'm gonna, and we're very cheap. So I mean, I'm literally just gonna do it for Joe. I mean, that's, he's an awesome guy. Seems like, and goddamn, brain cancer twice. Like, that's like, I don't know, kind of like God saying, how much can you fucking take? But hopefully he can, and he beats it, and he's back. And before we get to the Impact stuff, I want to quickly name I forget the ridiculous title because I happened to delete it just now, but basically an independent wrestling talent that fans would like to see on Impact Wrestling, or at least in the future. And mine this week is Freya The Slaya, who lost her OVW wrestling title in a really good match. Hell of a wrestler, very good look. She's 6'1", which is kind of tall, and I want to say like she's like a monster breed, but not really because she's 6'1" and she moves well. And we kind of quickly mentioned this before we recorded, but Deanna, Masha, and Jordan are 5'3" to 5'4". Not sure how many people know that. Kind of shocking to me. And Gary mentioned Jessica is what? Right around there?
Yeah, she's I'd say she's every bit as much as 6'1" or awful close to 6'2". She's a big lady. I don't mean that as a body shaming thing. I mean she's she's a tall, stout lady.
Yeah, tall. Yeah, tall. Just like because it's
what you wouldn't want to mess with. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean because I was looking up, she was 6'1", and I'm like, it's like not huge, but I mean for when you're in there with people who are 5'3" and 5'4", like she will look like a monster, like Havoc, like if she did come in, but like whatever. I mean, she's a good hell of a wrestler, so just wanted to mention that quickly. So that show, and I have to throw a quick shout out to my boy Mr. Pex, who beat the evil Tony Gunn, who gave me the finger just for being a giant Mr. Pectacular fan. So you got what you deserve, Tony. Seriously, though, great match for both of those guys also. And here's Gary with this week's Impact ratings.
Okay, before I get started, I have a question for you, Jay. How was production at a OVW show? I've ever really actually watched one there.
Surprisingly, I would say better than you would expect.
Yeah,
they have like a really nice setup, sorry, yeah.
We'll just move along onto the ratings.
Well, no, they got a nice setup. I believe it's in Louisville. I believe Al Snow kind of owns and runs all of it. And like the TV, I mean, you got to check out the TV show.
I just didn't know if it was like super indie. I have no idea.
No, it's got like a really nice, fresh look.
Oh,
so yeah, definitely check it out. It's free on YouTube, I think, sometimes, or FITE TV, and you can get the replay of that show on FITE TV. So yeah,
I'm always looking for new wrestling anyway. But moving on to the ratings for this week, the September 1st show, we came in at number 146 with the same demo. We kind of been doing for like 3 weeks in a row now with 0.02.
Yeah.
And we did manage to jump over the 100,000 mark. Not that we haven't been, but there was a couple weeks in the past month and a half where we dipped under 100,000. So I guess it's a work in progress. Like you said, you think it might be a lot to do with the end of summer, a lot of sports starting up, a lot of, NFL wrapping up their preseason, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you mentioned on our last recording that messed up. There was a NCAA football game on, and and then there was also a psychotic. Oh yeah, the U.S. Open you mentioned.
Second round, yep.
And there was an absolutely psychotic episode of Big Brother, which I guarantee got a crazy amount of attention because it was like kind of like a race war, but it was just it's a really stupid one. Which, whatever, I'm not getting into that. But So yeah, I mean, good ratings, especially for what they were going up against. Again, they need. I really don't like getting into ratings that much because it's like, they're just going to go from a low of like 80 and a high of like 150, it seems. So, and if
Yeah,
they're they own the network, there's nothing to worry about. So like, really, I don't know why people could freak out
yeah.
over it.
Well, I mean, they're on a network where the ceiling's only so high.
Yeah, exactly.
You
All
know.
right, so I want to start with Deanna and Masha because it was exactly what I thought. It was as great as I thought. I was afraid they might mess it up, but to me, this was like DDP Goldberg. Like when Goldberg beat DDP, like it was kind of the same situation. Like he was beating like lower guys, Goldberg, and then it was like him and DDP. It was like, oh shit, like maybe DDP is gonna be the one to beat this guy, and like it was a good match, maybe 10 minutes or whatever it was. It was clear, it was obvious. I mean, I think people said it to today. It was Goldberg's best match. This was easily Masha's best match because Deanna's fantastic. They made it look like Deanna could have won the match. It wasn't nowhere near a squash like I was afraid it might have been. Not a squash, but like an 80% squash. I don't know. What'd you think?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like going into this match, it was definitely a one-on-one encounter, but like a lot of the match too, Masha was dealing with outside interference. I think that was throwing her off tremendously at times to keep the match prolonged.
Yeah,
I liked Matthew Raywalt and Tom Hannafan on commentary because they were kind of like bickering back and forth about all the chicanery going on from Chelsea outside. I just thought that was really cool. It took me back to the days of like Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon on commentary.
Yeah, if we don't say it enough, Tom Hannafan rules.
Yeah, he's great. I thought it was funny too. He made some comments. He called Jordan Grace at some point. He called her the Juggernaut, and I just thought that was kind of weird because remember we were trying to come up with nicknames, like you called me the Horror.
Oh yeah,
and I called you the Juggernaut, and I just thought that was kind of weird. Like he threw that name out there.
Jason the Juggernaut. Sorry, bro, that's taken already.
I don't know. I don't think he listened to the podcast. It just was kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, obviously, but I mean, yeah, so again, I'm sure our fans know, well, not young fans, but older fans know that DDP Goldberg match. Like, I felt like this was the solidification of her, like, where now she's believable to go on and win the title or, come close. I think she's going to win, but whatever.
Okay. I love this here. I like how she, like, slapped the picture on the Masha's chest. It had me really wanting to, really, this was the main event, too.
I feel like, that's what I just wanted to jump to because I thought it was the best part of the show, or at least one of them, and it was.
Yeah, it ended up being the last match of the night, and the way it ended had me sold on the matchup.
Let me just mention there is a cricket noise in the background that we are not hitting. Gary just happens to live around crickets, so that is that's not a cricket sound I'm playing on myself, which would be making fun of us. Just want to throw that in there. So.
Yeah, it's a very weird and humid night here in upstate New York, and I'm not lying. We live kind of out in the country, and like for some reason, I've been hearing this cricket for like the last 2 hours.
It happens. I had a goddamn bug in my apartment for like 3 days, and I swear it just like really liked me and didn't want to leave because I kept the door open. But whatever. So here's something I loved. Eddie talking too much to Kenny King with his match with before his match with Speedball, which I wrote put Kenny behind the 8 ball, which I'm not sure is the right saying, is it?
I don't know. I mean, like I'm starting to notice a lot of the dissension between a lot of them. Just like the way Eddie kind of like calls out certain people. I see that actually in the future being a downfall of Honor No More. Because I think it's going to be all about the way Eddie has gotten to have a bit of an ego, and if he wins the title, I can imagine it getting even worse.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's a good way to.
Oh yeah, I do too. It's just
apart.
Not the way you do a faction if you want it to work. You kind of get the same page.
But I mean, they have been around for I'm not sure how long now, but.
Yeah, it's been quite a few tapings. I know,
like a decent amount. I definitely don't want to see them break up, but I think maybe at BFG you can do it. and they can kind of a few of them go their separate ways. Maybe one stays with Eddie. I don't know. I want more PCO. That's all I want. Is that?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he'd be great. He'd be great as a single competitor, or he's great in Honor No More. You know, he's interchangeable.
Yeah, great at pretty much everything. So yeah, the Bailey match. I mean, very good. Like every goddamn Bailey match, he got the win because, like I said, Kenny was kind of. Wait, am I wrong?
Your referee Daniel Spencer was knocked out of the action. The first referee. Can't remember the second referee's name. I know it. Brandon Toll, was that his name? Referee Brandon Toll took over, and he secured the
pin. Oh, that's right. Okay,
King, and he awarded it to him. And then Daniel Spencer, apparently in the process, seen Maria helping Kenny get I think she was hanging onto his hands, wasn't she? So he could get the leverage.
Yeah, she grabbed his arms. Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Spencer seen that, and he's like, "Wait a minute, no, that's not happening. The winner, we're going to continue this match until we get a real winner."
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that, but I don't know. It's like, I really like the idea of when the ref comes out and does that, but then you kind of have to do it all the time, like either you got to do it or you don't. Because there's so much bullshit in wrestling. It's like you might as well have a second ref out there all the time.
Well, what it would have been good in a way, it would have been cool if it would have had that build, like the whole team other than PCO would have a belt if, say, Eddie were to win at Bound for Glory.
Oh, yeah.
And then if they all have a title, can you imagine the ego on TV?
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. I mean, and they can definitely keep this King thing going because, like you said, they had to.
Well, I mean, they've got an upper hand on the Bullet Club. Not too many people can say that.
Because I was thinking King would kind of be out of the picture here, but I don't think so because, he literally won the championship and then he, lost it when they started the match. So I think that's going to continue, but we'll see. Maybe not. Also, oh, sorry, God. Forgot to take.
Oh, we might want to mention, too, Aussie Open are making their Impact Wrestling debut.
Oh, yeah.
Week, too. They're part of the United Empire.
Yeah.
Isn't it something? I don't really know much.
I was going to say, now, honestly, do you care? Or how much?
I have no idea. I'll be honest with you, I've never even heard of them.
That's what I mean. I don't, I know they're with Ospreay.
Oh, are they?
I'd be super.
I know Will Ospreay. I've always had a bit of animosity for him because I kind of felt like he used Impact at one point during that UK run.
I'm sure a lot of people have.
I've always had that for him. I don't know why. He's a great wrestler. I feel like you shit on Impact, and I kind of always have this grudge against them for a while.
Yeah, there's certain people who, whatever, said things.
But it is what it is, and I know it's a wrestling business, and you can, never say never. So
yeah, it's a tough business, which I've kind of learned. So I don't really hold grudges, but some wrestlers I do if they call me out on Twitter when I'm an awesome fan. But let's move on to the. Oh yeah, well I know I just want to throw in there. I'm not too excited about them either, to be honest. Because I don't know them. I know Ospreay's their third guy, in trios matches. So if he was there, of course I'd be excited. But it's just the Aussie Open's here, and I feel like this is an AEW move where they think fans know who they are. I just don't like when wrestling does things like that. You need to explain better. I don't care about them. I don't give a shit. You need to, and you're not gonna do it in a week. You know what I mean? But whatever. So back to what I do give a shit about: the Impact Tag Championship. Finally, it happened.
Oh yeah, that kicked off the show this week, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Finally, it happened. OGK.
Oh yeah, great stuff. Very compelling TV. It just, I don't know. I loved it when their song hit, and I just mark it out over it the whole night.
Let me just read this from 411 about this match. This match made this regular episode of Impact feel like a pay-per-view, and they delivered a solid match to keep that vibe tonight. Good stuff.
Well, speaking of 411, they called this their show of the year. They gave it an 8.5.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I thought that was a little much, but I like their thinking because it's very similar to mine. How, let me scroll down here. How they said, it doesn't happen often. You don't see a format like this where you get one great match to start the show. Then there was basically 30 minutes of story progression, and then two more great matches. And I think they might have missed a match or whatever, but that was just their point. Like it was very story. There was a lot of backstage stuff in the first hour.
Yeah, I noticed about the hour 5-10 minute mark of it. It felt like it took a little bit for me to get through it. Not a lot, but a little bit. Just because, like, usually that first hour flies by, and it felt like every bit of that hour for me. I don't know why. That's not a knock on them. Maybe it's because you said it was story driven.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a Killer Kelly Tasha thing backstage. Honor No More celebration with the Kingdom backstage. And then the King and Bailey match, which I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was really good, but the ending was whatever, and I guess that'll continue.
Do you think maybe a lot of this particular episode maybe too was a little wrestling heavy for you, Jay? Because I know
it was the opposite. I thought it was the opposite. Honestly,
it was the opposite. I mean, the matches that were really standoutish, I thought they were really wrestling heavy here and there.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I'm totally cool with it. Like, I loved it. I thought this was. I actually might be agreeing with this guy. The more I read, I'm looking at this show. I mean, the Kenny King match was very good. At least, I mean, he thought it was great. And he's probably this dude is a reviewer for a living, and like I don't overrate myself is what I do. So
what would you have given it about it? I know you're under an 8.5, but would you have given it about an 8? Or?
Man, no, I think I would give it about an 8.5. But I mean, he's kind of the way he talked about the show, and his name is Caesar or whatever. Like, it sounds like he would give it a 9.5. But
well, I thought the match of the night for being underrated for not really knowing what to expect was Alex Zane and Mascarera Dorado or Grand Alec. I guess that's his name too.
Now, this is where I may sound hypocritical, but I'm totally okay with that because it's an X Division match. Like, we know Alex Zane a little bit. He's made, I don't know, 3 few matches.
He reminds me of? He reminds me a lot of the villain, Marty Scurll.
Oh, yeah. Well, that dude's a creep. So the less said about him, the better. Yeah. But I mean, I think a lot of people like Zane. Like, he has a good look. He's a hell of a goddamn X Division wrestler. I don't think I've ever seen Dorado before.
Wasn't he?
Holy shit!
Part of the Luchas down in NXT.
Wow! Again, thank you for 1-1. He's Grand Metalik or Metallic. I forget how they pronounce it.
Yeah.
He was in the Lucha House Party. Shit! Wow.
Okay. Well, what was on the line in this particular match? The winner is going to get a future X Division title shot against Mike Bailey too. So.
Well, let me say I don't like that because what the F did Dorado do to get in that spot?
Yeah, it's pretty random, I must admit.
I mean, it was his Impact debut.
Should have been like maybe I don't know, maybe prior, maybe they should have had like a X Division tournament, maybe.
Stick him in a battle royal or something where he wins the week before. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, not a huge deal, but I just don't like when titles are kind of, even title opportunities are given to people that are just brand new. Like, what did he do? He was, hey, I was a WWE card, and they're like, oh, here you go, right in the main event.
Well, I don't know why Impact hasn't. I know this probably isn't going to be popular opinion. I don't know why Impact isn't trying to go after Marco Stunt.
Oh, yeah, that'll probably be. Well, it's unpopular with me, but I know a lot of people like him.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, he's a name, and that's what Impact needs right now. A little star.
And he kind of brings in like different faces, yeah. Mickie James. So I'm not sure if I forget if she had the speech before the Jordan thing, but I just wanted to run down like how many backstage things there were. There was the Jordan thing, then there was a Umara. Well, I could have sworn I saw on Impact before, but he's making his Impact debut next week, so I guess he didn't. I guess
they showed a little bit of a video package with some of his aerial assaults and stuff. Our good buddy Blood Rain would know loads about him.
Oh, he's a New Japan guy. Okay, he's in New Japan. Okay, yeah. I was thinking he was. Actually, he might have been with AEW for a bit doing dark.
He might have been part of All Japan too, for all I know. I don't know. I just know. I'm sure Blood Rain knows every ounce of info on him.
So pretty cool. Him and Aussie Open are making their debut, even though, like I said, not too into the whole people showing up and not really understanding them. But like Umara totally makes sense because he's a New Japan guy and whatever. I don't want to get too into my weird thinking, but yeah, the Masha thing. Sorry, just going down, seeing what we missed here. That was the main event of the show. So what the hell match did we miss? We definitely missed a match. What the heck? Oh, well. Oh, I know. Sorry. I wanted to mention all the backstage chicks. There was really a lot. There was Moose and Macklin. What now? I thought it was obvious what's like they were saying, like, why don't we team up and just go after Sammy? You know, like we don't like. But
Moose and Macklin were bickering because remember he didn't he roll him up or something during last week's show to get the, and then it's kind of in that dissension a little bit like we saw with Morrissey and Moose. That's kind of like the dissension we're getting. So I don't know, you know, if that's going to be the deciding factor of whoever Sammy manages the team with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe nobody, and they would just kill each other, which I'm guessing. And
maybe a Chris brother coming to his aid too, maybe if we can't get Moxley.
I mean, I'd like to see something happen with Sammy soon, where he kind of, I don't know, has a group or something again. I absolutely loved this. Was just, Eric Young, goddamn, he does everything perfect. He's like the perfect professional wrestler to me. This man, like he told Joe, I forget what he exactly said. Like, I think he has his own cross to bear or something, and like,
oh yeah, I got it right here. It says,
and like we'll meet again, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, he says EY tells Joe Doering they need to go their own path, and he wishes him luck. Diener then asks Young if he's leaving, and he says, can he follow him if he wants? And then basically they're saying, is this the end of Violent by Design? And I could honestly see Diener still walking the same path with Eric Young here. So
see, I'm interested because I think I would turn EY face slowly here.
Yeah,
kind of like make it like he's fighting for Joe, which would make him like a super face. I mean, he could be a huge face whenever he blinks his eye. He's that good. But I mean, if they make it like about Joe, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe we're going to get a new member of that faction, and then it's going to cause tension with Joe if and when he does come back.
Yeah, we could see that too. I don't know. I feel like it's a EY face turn in a few months.
Yeah, it could be.
I feel like the world needs it. I don't know. I always feel like a lot of people say anyone could be a good heel, but it's very hard to be a good face, and he's a very, very, very good face. So, and speaking of good faces, one of the best of all time, Mickie James. Got to throw in, not a bad brack either, which even she pointed out as she thanked the two-sided tape as being her real MVP of last night. She looked amazing. Even Nichols has tweeted something like a joke, like it's like what I forgot what I was thinking about, whatever. But I mean, she had like a great, she's awesome on the mic. She's a goddamn legend. She talked about who she really is. I mean, I'm effing Mickie James. That was basically the thing, I'm effing Mickie James. Here's what I've done, blah blah blah, and I want one more match, right?
Yeah, well, I like how she paid it forward to being grateful for getting an opportunity and Impact when she was Alexis, was it Larray or Larry? And
yes,
proud to have the Knockouts title main event in a Texas death match, that kind of thing. And she was, I don't know, she's real genuine. Tears were real.
Like, she's genuine. She's so good. She's so professional. It's like, man, I don't know. I don't know what she wants to do in her life. Maybe she's like totally set with her family and whatever else. But I mean, goddamn, she can run a wrestling promotion, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, even if she didn't do something like that, she could be a great asset to any roster.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And I mean, I don't think. Have you ever heard anyone say anything bad about Mickie James? Like, I don't think I have.
It's like the ambassador for women.
Like, she's like universally loved.
Yep.
And sorry, I got to quickly throw in. Speaking of universally loved, I said that about Madison Rayne all the time. And I really thought she was going to help with AEW, and it's like, what, a month later, and she's MIA already. She lost a title match, which they just put her right in the title match when she comes in to make her look like shit. I guess I don't know how they think, but whatever. Just throw that in there. I believe she'll be back within 6 months. Just gonna mention that. And I don't know. Do we miss anything else?
I still refuse to watch the show.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I don't.
No, I'm done.
I mean, I watch at times just out of total boredom. And
yeah.
I still turn it off like halfway. I mean, I watch WWE, which I got to mention quickly. There's like a whole goddamn war going on now. Or I guess it's always been going on now with WWE fans and AEW fans, and I swear to God, it's like killing my not killing my love for wrestling, but killing my love for like I just don't want to talk to anyone on Twitter about wrestling. You know what I mean? Because it's just all WWE versus AEW, and like what they're fighting over two fucking billionaires. Who's going to be get more billions? Like really?
Well, with me with AEW, my problem with it is at one point they're trying to act like the old TNA. And then at the next minute, they're trying to act like the old WCW, and I'm like, those places are pretty much defunct at this point. You know what I mean? Like you can still live on and watch WCW on the WWE library, but you know they're an afterthought. You need to focus on a new direction. You know,
people would always. I remember people would always say Impact is what the hell's the word? They don't have a. Well, direction is a good word, but like they don't have like a I don't want to say theme. God, I can't think of a goddamn word, but whatever. They don't like have a thing, you know, like they would call it like WWE Light or whatever, like for a while and whatever else, and like that they did have the X Division thing like for a while where they were kind of known for that, but like I don't know what AEW is anymore. Like it's like they were a point where they were like Ring of Honor, where they were the great match company.
What did they say? Like their Rampage is in the toilet with ratings and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you saw that thing I posted today, but What Culture? It was written by a guy who I swear this dude doesn't ever. He used to get bashed for not saying anything negative about AEW, and he just destroyed Rampage like with all facts. Like how Tony doesn't give a shit about it because he realized it's in a dead time slot, and there's nothing he can do. Like it doesn't matter who he puts on there, so it's a waste. So he's just gonna,
They really should have just focused on an A and B show, and then just kind of.
I remember saying it was too soon before they went to the B show. Like Impact should have a B show. They're very clearly, you know what I mean? Like they're so clearly defined. They know what they're doing. Like they start like that. They have so many divisions that are just set, and like AEW has like 9,000 belts, and it's just a disaster with no creativity.
Well, that's like with people complain about Impact having a physical Hall of Fame, and I'm like, they're 20 years in the business. To me, that's proof that they should have a Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, I definitely think they should.
There's a lot of guys they still haven't even inducted yet.
I guess the problem is like where you put it.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing somewhere in Nashville you would do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe at Universal. I have no idea. I don't know what like the home is or what it should be, or I don't know. But that's something to look into. And I think you had a birthday something.
Oh yeah, John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves turns 58 today, so happy birthday, Keanu!
Holy shit, he's 58 years old.
Yeah, he's even older than me, Jay.
Oh my god, he looks incredible.
I don't look at it.
Well, you don't. I'm sure you haven't paid a ton of money to get your face work. No offense to Keanu, who I love, but you don't look like that without any money, you know?
Yeah. No, I just thought I'd throw that in there because we're kind of doing movie tie-in kind of thing, and
and if you missed it, Gary has his channel back going. Not even going. Talk about just like nonstop, like a machine, every day popping out reviews and
Tonight's podcast is brought to you by the movie Feeders 3 from Wild Eye Releasing. I don't know if I was supposed to mention that or not, but it's a fun little thing we're doing, trying to get this movie some attention and maybe get the crossover appeal for both our channels.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Gary gets movies just sent to him. God damn, I can't even imagine if a wrestling promotion did that to me. I would cover whatever the hell it was.
Well, we're kind of playing on the Gravitas Venture thing that Impact's kind of plugging right now. It's kind of a cool thing that they've done. I know a lot of people think it's probably shit, but
would you drop Wild Eye if Gravitas got in touch with you? Got to put you on the spot here.
I'd probably manage both.
All right.
Just because I'm loyal to both. Wild Eye's been there with me for a while. They took me back when I didn't even know if they would. So I'm all about loyalty. That's why I watch Impact Wrestling. So
always remember who got you to the dance. You hear me, you Canadian piece of garbage? Sorry, that was something else. So I think we hit on everything this week, and a
little bit of rambling.
Yeah, and like always, the last few minutes are going to be a little bit of rambling.
You guys have any questions? Leave them in the comments.
Shit, I wanted to mention a movie fest that I saw recently, but I forgot about it. So,
we can catch it next time.
But I forgot about it, so we'll get that next time. And you all have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, have a great Labor Day weekend.
Remember to keep it positive, especially when it comes to Impact. Peace.
Good night, everybody.